We're going to call the meeting to order. Thank you, everyone, for coming. This is the Madison County Board of Education, April 11th, 2024, 6 p.m. This is our regular scheduled meeting, and I want to thank everybody for coming. We got a nice crowd here tonight, so appreciate you guys. The agendas were at the door, so hopefully you guys were able to get one when you came in. I want to make sure that everyone knows that we received our agendas many days ago. We've had lots of opportunity to look at them, oversee them, ask questions, and get answers. So if we don't ask a question tonight that you may be unfamiliar with, please know that we've already done our due diligence and have done that. So let us begin. We called the meeting to order. Number 2 is our vision statement. And Ms. Brock, would you please read that for us?
Madison County Schools, in partnership with the community, strives to equip educators and students with the skills to lead by example, develop and speak with a unique voice, and explore their academic curiosity to make a positive impact on our community and world.
Thank you. And now for one of the fun parts. We've got our showcase tonight. That's number 3 on our agenda. Dr. Gillum, will you please introduce?
Will do. For our student showcase tonight, we have B. Michael Caudill Middle School students. They've explored the different historical art movements, such as Romanticism and Impressionism in Miss Speller's art classes. On display tonight, in front of us here, are student-produced works of art that represent these movements. B. Michael Caudill Middle School students are here tonight also to discuss these works of art, explaining the movements they represent and the significance of their work. Here tonight, along with Ms. Speller, are 7th graders Ruth Sundis, Josie Brandenburg, and Jane Wombald, and 8th grader Ethan Brumbaugh.
Good evening. My name is Christy Speller. I'm a first-year art teacher at B. Michael Caudill Middle School. This year, we have been studying and learning and working within the elements and principles of art. And I've brought, 3 students and then 1 student. He had a doctor's appointment, so he could not make it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about his work at the very end. But I've brought these young ladies here tonight to talk about their amazing pieces of artwork they've created for us. So I've got Ruth could be first, and then Jane, and then Josie. So Ruth, I'll let you go ahead and talk a little bit about your work.
So this first painting is by Jean Delacourt. He's a French painter, and he lived in 1798 to 1863. He did a lot of painting in the Romanticism era, and he inspired in the Impressionism style of painting. This is called The Orphan Girl at the Cemetery. It was painted in 1824. This painting is called Woman with a Parasol, and it's a painting of Madame Monet and her son. It's by Claude Monet, a French painter, and he was born in 1840 and died in 1926. He worked in Impressionism, and he really inspired a lot of other artists.
I'd like to add really quick, too. You may not know, you can buy any color of paint in a tube, but I only give the students the primary colors in black and white, and Ruth created that beautiful color palette with just those colors, which is something that's really a feat in itself. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Well done.
My first piece of art is part of a mashup with an elementary school where we find a piece of art that we like from the elementary school and we add on to it. And so it's a piece of op art which began in the 1960s. Some famous op artists are Bridget Riley and Victor Visardi. And my second piece of art is a study from Claude Monet, who was a French painter who was born in 1840 and died in 1926. It's Impressionism. And the original piece is called View of Vetule from 1880. My first painting right here is by Claude Monet, who's a French painter. And what inspired me to do this is I personally love white, and I like the color scheme of it. And this right here was called Girl with the Hair Ribbon, and it's by Roy Lichtenstein, who's the pop artist, and he was American. And
separately then to put them together, so I thought that was a really cool little project. And this was done in acrylic. All the students, they worked within acrylic, a pastel. James, Claude Monet was done with pastels, as was Josie's. Pencils, Sharpies, we even had clay this year, our kiln got fixed, so we didn't have time to bring those in. But we worked with a lot of different mediums, and they produced some incredible work, so great job.
Thank you all. Great job, guys.
They are beautiful. I hate for you to take them.
They will be on display all next week at the Richmond area,
Oh.
EKU Art Center.
Okay,
For 3 days, and then it'll be next
wonderful.
Thursday night.
Nice work, ladies.
All right, next is our agenda. On our agenda is our recognition, something else very special.
Yes, so on the morning of March the 12th, a Madison County bus driver had a medical episode while driving the school bus, and there were several students on board. The bus veered slightly off the road, hit a mailbox, and came back onto the road. The bus monitor they quickly realized what was happening, so responded by pushing the driver's knee down, which was above the brake, and then pulled the parking brake on to get the bus to a complete stop. Then she immediately called the bus garage to explain the situation. She was instructed to put the flashers on and wait for help. She secured the bus and kept students calm until help arrived. The bus was quickly met by Madison Central Principal Brandon Fritz, who was passing by on his way to Madison Central. And then very quickly, EMS personnel arrived on the scene. Tonight, we would like to honor that bus driver, Ms. Denise Rowe, for her heroic efforts that morning. The situation could have been much worse without her quick thinking and actions. And I know Mr. Lakes called me immediately right after that, actually while the situation was still going on, and we were very thankful for Ms. Rowe and her response, and we really appreciate it. So Ms. Rowe, if you'd come up, we'd present you with a certificate. Present that to her. And let's give her a round of applause. Great work there. It's really amazing all of the things that our bus drivers and bus monitors do out there. And I know Mr. Lakes is very appreciative and very proud of that staff. And Ms. Rowe, you represent that group very well, so thank you.
Next is audience comments. Tammy, do we have any comments from our audience? Okay. Moving on then is our consent agenda. These are items that the board sees regularly and we are very familiar with. Items to be approved on our consent agenda tonight are 6A, the minutes of the March 14th, 2024 regular meeting and the March 26th, 2024 special meeting. 6B is claims. 6C, superintendent's personnel actions. 6D, leaves of absence. 6E, technology surplus. 6F, the following out-of-state field trips. The Clark Moores Middle School archery trip to Daytona, Florida on June 5th through the 9th, 2024. The Ignite South Academy DECA trip to Anaheim, California on April 27th through May 1st, 2024. The Fairstown Middle School Renaissance trip to Mason, Ohio on May 17th, 2024. The Fairstown Middle School band trip to Mason, Ohio on May 11th, 2024. And 6G is to reschedule the May 23rd board meeting. Are there any questions about our consent agenda? All right, then I need a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
All right, the motion's been made by Ms. Brock. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next, we'll have our monthly reports. So we'll have 7A, our instruction report. Tonight, we have Jeremy Phillips, principal at Madison Southern High School, and Katie DeSimone, assistant principal at Madison Central High School. They're going to give us our instruction report tonight.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. So tonight we want to talk briefly just kind of the unified vision for college and career readiness that both high schools have. And so to begin, the past 2 years we have had, in both the North and the South End, we've had our Ignite North and our Ignite South campuses, which have allowed us to really expand the college and career opportunities that our students have. And so really our focus at both schools is that we want our students when they leave us to have opportunity is the bottom line. And what that looks like for us is we don't just want them to, if they're going to go to college, we don't just want to get them the scores that they need to get into college. We want them to actually get into college courses while they're at the high schools, to be in that supportive environment while they gain those experiences and get college credit. And then ideally, when we send them off, they have a much higher likelihood of success in college once they get there. Same thing for careers. We don't just want to embed them with the knowledge and skill for the workforce, but we want to get them certified so they can step in, and many of them do, into high-paying careers fresh out of high school and some even before, which is pretty amazing. And we have worked very, very diligently, especially Ignite North, Ignite South, so Mrs. Burns, Mrs. Smith, and Mr. Clark, to create strong relationships with business in our community, and it gives our students a lot of opportunity while they're with us, and especially once they leave us.
Do we want to talk some specifics?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I reiterate everything he said. You know, I think the biggest thing at Central is to provide those opportunities, and we've been really excited to see some of our dual credit offerings explode. Just a couple years ago, we pretty much only offered dual credit English and dual credit math. I think I counted yesterday, and between Ignite North and Madison Central, students have the opportunity to take 36 different dual credit courses, along with the 17 AP courses that we always have offered. And so just to look at some of the requests looking through next year, I didn't pull up individual students, so these are course requests. So some students might have wanted multiple courses, but we have 730 requests for AP courses, 1,020 requests for dual credit courses, and over 1,900 requests for CTU courses, both at Central and at Ignite North. So we're pretty excited about that. Madison Central got about 90% CCR ready last year. We're almost to that point, and that's without any of our bonus points for the high demand certifications that they've earned at Ignite North. So we think that this senior class is going to blow that out of the water. So we're pretty pumped about that.
Absolutely, and we parallel the same thing. So our transition readiness, which is our students meeting the goal that we have for them of being ready to either move on to further education once they leave us or step into careers. We are currently at a little over 91%, which for this time of the year, without our scores back from our EOP tests at Ignite South and Ignite North. So we're very, very happy with the work that our teachers and students have put in there. Same thing, we have at Southern, we've expanded our dual credit opportunities. Madison Southern has done a great job, and especially Ignite South, of offering and partnering with local colleges, BCTC in particular, Murray State being one of them as well, in order to offer more opportunities for our students.
And I think we just have to give a shout out to our students and our teachers that show up every day and work really hard to get those kids college and career ready, because they're still rocking it, and we've got, what, about 6-7 weeks left? So
That's right.
we're going to keep pushing forward.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Us mamas up here with seniors don't like to hear that. Only 6 or 7 weeks left.
I'm trying to not think about
Yeah, we are. All right, next on the agenda, 7B is our construction report. So Jonathan Smith with Branscombe Construction, he'll be presenting us an update on our new Madison Middle School.
evening. I want to give you an update of what's been going on at the middle school over the last little bit. Show you some updated photos. It's changing a lot every week. This is Area C classroom. This is actually standing, my back's against the outside door going down. That's the corridor. Just some of those partition walls have not been laid yet, but you can see steel's up, decking's on. You can see that mechanical mezzanine above, that corridor that goes all the way down that ties in to the main corridor. This is one of those open areas there at Area C. You can see they're actually putting up some temporary lights that day I was there. And of course, we've had quite a bit of rain over the last little bit. You can see where some water's been in, but we're getting way along on a lot of that interior stuff. We've already started running some piping, some duct work that I'll show you here in just a minute, but it's, even with the weather we've had, it's still progressing really well over at the middle school. This is kind of hard to see, but you can see the pipe up above. That's the pipe for the geothermal. A lot of that's being run in the mechanical mezzanine above. They're already starting to get those hangers in, and a lot of that piping is being run above those mechanical mezzanine areas. This is ductwork. This is an area D, that front area. A lot of that ductwork in that classroom's already been hung. As you can see, they're keeping that ductwork covered as they're putting it up, so we make sure we're keeping that ductwork clean until we're ready to turn the system on. So a lot of that's already going up. As those areas where we're getting them where they can get in there and work, they're following right behind hanging duct in those classroom areas. This is a shot of that steel going up over another one of the mechanical mezzanines. A lot of steel's been set in the last 3 or 4 weeks there inside the building, so that block's been laid up and that steel's going up over. You can see the ladder going up where they're getting up to get a lot of that steel set over that mechanical mezzanine. This is the back of the cafeteria kitchen area. You can see they're laying that wall up. They've got it scaffolded up. They're getting that wall laid up in the backside of the cafeteria. You can see that structure to the left. That steel has been set too also. This is a shot. I'm standing with my back to the gym looking over towards what would be Area C, Area D to the left, Area E to the right. That's that central part. I think that's the part computer lab. That still got set. That's part of those tall walls there in that Area B, but that's been done and that steel has been set. And it would have probably been decked this week, but of course we've had so much rain, they've not been able to get that decking done in that area, but still a lot of work going on despite that. This is just some overall shots. This was actually a day before the rain comes, so you can see the site looks a little different. It's not wet. So, but you kind of some overall shots above that you can see those areas. That's the administration area there, and then the gym to the right. You can see that other area. That's kind of where our last area we're working our way out of the building, getting that block laid. This is a shot looking at Area D, looking over to that taller section I was talking about where that structural steel's been set. You can see that decking's on a lot of those roof areas, and those are coming together really nice. This is a side view looking at Area C and D. You can see Area C there to the left, Area D to the right. Again, see that roof decking going on, starting to take shape. You're seeing what the building's going to look like once the finished product will be done. The next 30 days, we're going to have hopefully the gym covered. We're going to have that roof deck over the gym. The weather cooperates. We will possibly be starting brick in the next 30 days on the exterior, so the exterior will really start changing a lot. We start brickwork. We got to get our spray on, insulation on first, but brick will start. And we'll also be starting foundations on the athletic fields. So hopefully all of that work will be starting the next 30 days and progressing really well. So any questions on the middle school?
Oh, it looks nice.
Really looks great.
Love the progress.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Travis Curry with Trace Creek Construction to speak about the Phillips Building renovation project. Hello.
Hello, good evening. We'll start with the CTC building. You can see we brought the crane in. This was over spring break, removing some of the old equipment that was on top of the building and setting new equipment in place. This is some of the interior of the upper level. You can see we started running ceiling grid, got some of the paint, first coat of paint on the walls and on the door frames. Another shot of interior classrooms. The new windows are in, which I think I've got an exterior elevation shot I can show you here in just a minute. Most of the ceiling grid on the upper level is complete. The ductwork is all insulated and installed. This is a shot in the kitchen. This is the stainless steel ductwork that was welded and inspected by the state for the new exhaust hood that was installed in your new kitchen area. This is the exterior new mechanical room that's going, I call it the little alleyway. I'm not sure what the name of that road is between the CTC there, but that's a little new addition, mechanical room. Another exterior shot, you can see to the right there, those two openings. We're taking the garage doors out. Those will now be closed up. That is actually a picture there of your cooler freezer that was installed. Another angle of the cooler freezer. This is the new mechanical mezzanine that's above the, that's to the right of the new kitchen, and there's bathrooms down below that. So we're going to be pouring that tomorrow, and then next week we'll start setting some new mechanical equipment. This is a photo below that mechanical platform you just saw. These are the new bathroom stalls that will be just off of the new kitchen. Those are the new windows that have all been installed on the exterior of the building. The Phillips building. So this is a shot of the soccer field. I don't know if you've been over there lately, but we were very close to getting ready to start the soccer field, and then you can see it started raining on us. So now we kind of got to let it dry out, re-disc the top, do some more finish grading, then we'll have to do another proof roll on that. So hopefully Thursday and Friday start drying out again, so we're at the mercy of Mother Nature on the soccer field. Like I said, the soccer field contractor mobilized, his material's there, but the rain set in on us. So this is another shot of the soccer field. This is where the underground retention pond is going, not pond, structures are going to go. This is where all the water from the drainage structures underneath the field will drain over into this retention area that will be underground. This is, and I don't know if you can see it in the background, this is a shot of the new band parking lot. You can see there the band tower off in the distance has been relocated. Again, we're ready to start putting curb and gutter down. Allen Company came in Monday, started putting the rest of the rock down. Curb and gutter guy was going to mobilize Wednesday, but the rain set in on us. So, Chris and I spoke yesterday. He may be aware of some dates, but if the weather permits, you know, we're going to get this. We just need 3 or 4 weeks, and we'll have this band parking lot ready to turn over. This is looking from coming in off of 3rd Street into the existing drive, looking back toward our job trailer, and again in the distance, that's where where the band tower's been relocated. This is a shot of the inside of the existing Phillips building, kind of the warehouse area. Put new light fixtures in. You can see those are installed. We've done some other overhead work, sprinkler system, etc. This is, as you saw in the past, the ugly part that we uncovered, all the steel. So now we are starting to put a skin on that and starting to frame and close that up. So we've got the sheathing that goes on the exterior of that on site, so we're ready to start putting the sheathing on. This is standing at the corner of George and 3rd Street. That's your existing tech building, which will get a new skin on it, some brick and metal panels, etc. This is a view of inside the area, what we refer to as the Area C. We finally were able to get steel on site and start some CMU work. This is where the new office areas are going to go. Once we get these areas built, we will relocate the existing offices, move them in here, and then we'll jump over into what we refer to as Area A, the existing office area, and start demoing that area. Just some other shots of the exterior. Madison Kindergarten, we will be mobilizing again on May 1st. We had a monthly progress meeting a few weeks ago and met with Mr. Clark, Ms. Stacy, and Tony, and the contractors, and we've made significant progress on color selections to get all the materials and colors selected and start getting materials ordered. And obviously, that was the purpose of bidding early, so we could get a jump start and try to get the materials here. So contractors, in my opinion, has done a really good job in trying to get shop drawing submittals in and hit the ground running on May the 1st. I believe that's it. Any questions?
I will make a comment. You referred to the alleyway there next to the old tech center.
Yeah.
That is, I want to make sure we honor our 1982 Mass Central baseball team. That's
Yes.
40 and Old Boulevard.
40 and Old Boulevard. I'll remember that the next time. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now Tony Thomas of Clotfelter Samakar Architects. He's going to present our construction report.
Well, good evening, everyone. Few repeated pictures, some not so repeated, but I'll breeze right through them. But I'm starting at Phillips, obviously from Georgia Street there. Those windows are into the new offices. That's Mr. Reister's office where the scissor lift is, so that's coming along. Roof deck in place, the steel in place, lots of materials on site. That's a similar shot that Travis had looking down the back courtyard there, so good to see the skin almost about to go on. He referred to the band lot there. That's a very similar picture, and yes, there's the band tower relocated and in place and ready to direct someone as soon as they get the football field painted on the parking lot. The concessions building, from where I'm standing, that's just about where you'll be ordering some Coke and Snickers bars, and those door frames will go into the public restrooms there. So, and then beyond there are some locker rooms and storage areas. I guess this was a shot just before it started raining. Looked really good, a big flat area ready for green. And yes, as everybody knows, we've had some pretty rainy weather. Any questions on Phillips? If not, I'll move into the middle school. Work continues to progress there. Obviously a shot of the front entry there. Looking over to where some of the newest steel has been laid. As Jonathan mentioned, that's the higher wall there is the computer lab. The media center would be just to the right of there. Commons area, that'll be like a commons area pod, a group of classrooms. Go up top, over top of the commons areas, there's a place where there'll be lots of heat pumps, the mechanical mezzanine. That's looking at that same mechanical mezzanine from the exterior. Classroom underway, you can see ducts, pipes. And on the back 40, they were able to get some gravel spread, and they're trying to start coming out of the ground with foundations. But of course, this week was a little bit of a mess for them. But as soon as it dries up, they've told me they're getting back on the footings and foundations for the press boxes and concession stands and things of that nature associated with athletic. Any questions on Madison Middle? If not, we'll run into the former tech, and I think that looks identical to one that Travis showed you, but just the classrooms, it's really in a finished state. Paint on the walls, ceiling grid about ready to go in, clean the floors, put some flooring down, covers on electrical boxes. There's some more ceiling tile in the ceiling grid in the corridor areas. Mechanical units in, there's a couple missing, but a lot of the units are in, piped up. Just a few electrical connections to be made. And of course, the mechanical room on the outside is coming along as well. So good progress at all the projects. Haven't heard anybody say that they're not going to hit an intended deadline at this point, so we feel good about it. Oh, I'm sorry, there's there's the restrooms. Yeah, these are similar to some that Travis showed, the new big cooler freezer, and just the new windows that match the rest of the campus. So, and of course the kindergarten academy beyond. We're going through a lot of shop drawings now, and they intend on being on site May 1st.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
A lot going on in
Yeah,
construction world.
it's exciting. Very exciting time. All right, next is 7C, our monthly financial reports. We've got Mark Woods, our CFO.
Good evening. We'll get started with our bank reconciliation. As of March 31st, the district ended with a reconciled balance of $144,586,9 $905.46. You can see we're up from this time last year, from our bond sales, our construction projects, the monies we're holding for that. Just to make note, we have a little over 50% of that balance is in restricted funds. We cannot use those funds for daily operations. They're for things like construction, making bond payments, things of that nature. So that money, that it looks like a very large number, but actually not all of that's available for us to use for daily operations. So of the reconciled balance, the district has $80,244,518.04 in investments. Those rates range from 4.5 to 5.0664. Two CDs, and we're still buying treasury yields. That seems to be the best market for us to be in right now. The safest market, and it's yielding really well. So I keep watching those. I have our chunks of our bonded money for our projects invested out so that I have it timed where those come back in as we need that to put the money on paying for the projects, paying it down and everything. So that will yield us money that we can use for future projects. So we keep doing that with the money and monitoring that. In addition, the board received the balance sheet and the revenue and expense report for March 31st. I've gone through it. I've looked at our trends, making sure that we're on target with our budget. Everything seems to be going well, going smooth, and we're working towards the end of the school year. So, any questions?
All right, then.
Great job as always.
If there's no question, then I need a motion to approve the monthly financial reports as presented.
So moved.
All right, the motion's been made by Ms. Cobb. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, we move into 8B, approve the MMS project. So we need to approve the change order number 1 for the Madison Middle School project for a credit of $5,280. Do you want
I can. It's, what we're doing there is we're eliminating there's an access point up to the top of the press box so we can get up there and film. We've got that at some of our others. It was in the original design, but it's not necessary. We hardly ever use that. It just provides a point for the roof to leak. So we took that out and saved a little over $5,000.
We'll take it.
All right, if there's any questions? No? All right, if no questions, I need a motion to approve the change order number 1 for the Madison Middle School project for a credit of $5,280.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Coyle. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion approved. 8C, to approve the copy paper purchased. Hello.
Good evening. Obviously, with a district our size, instead of each school purchasing their own copy paper at a more expensive rate, it's efficient for us to leverage all those and put all those orders together and make one large purchase at a better rate. So what we've done here, it ended up being 4 semi-truckloads of copy paper. Basically, each school will pay for their part. Ends up being with Action Business Suppliers in the amount of $109,173.90. You have any questions?
We do this every year.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if there's no questions, then I need a motion to approve the purchase of copy paper with Action Business Suppliers for $109,173.90.
So moved.
I'll say.
I'll make the motion by Ms. Brock, second by Ms. Cobb. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Thank you, Dr. Brumbaugh.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is 8D, to approve the furniture purchase.
Yeah, so as the gentleman with Tate's Creek Construction just talked about a little bit ago with the, I guess we'll call it the former Kentucky Tech building being renovated, we need to get some furniture for that building. So worked with Dr. Gillum, Mr. Fritz, and a few others, and came up with, it's mainly student furniture. Obviously, there's some teacher furniture, desks, chairs, different things like that. But we put that out. Wouldn't call it a bid, more of competitive negotiations. Got 4 quotes back for the furniture, and Action Business Suppliers came in with the best quote. So before you have with Action Business Suppliers as well of $102,743 for furniture to outfit the old Kentucky Tech building. I guess we're calling Madison Central part of it now.
I think we are.
Any questions?
Yeah, this is just the classroom. This doesn't have anything to do with the kitchen or the cafeteria or anything we're doing.
That's correct. There's no, there's no
Just the-
lunchroom tables in this. But
Correct.
That one will be later.
Later,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's classroom furniture.
All right, then I need a motion to approve the furniture purchase with Action Business Suppliers in the amount of $102,743.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Brock, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on our agenda, 8E, to approve Invention Land PO for the MKA renovation.
So I guess I will present this one. This is a company, it's called Invention Land, as you can see. And they provided, you all should have received the sketches and the images there. They provide very high-quality graphics and decor and furniture and some other pieces to really kind of dress that project up as we were thinking about this being a kindergarten facility. I know you guys, as we looked at the renovation, you want to do some special things for our kindergarten kids, and worked with Miss Stacy and this company to provide some really neat designs, and you can see it there. So this will provide all of the things, and as well as the installation of those images. Any questions?
I thought they looked really good.
I loved it.
Yeah.
No, I
thought
wish-
it was
So
great.
They are-
creative.
It's too bad we can't pull it up for everybody to see, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really neat.
It was
All right, any other questions?
yeah. One staff member actually had a tear in her eye when she saw that. Excited.
That is
It
exciting.
is, it really is.
All right, then I need a motion to approve the Invention Land purchase order for the Madison Kindergarten Academy renovation in the amount of $109,987.60.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Coyle, is there a second?
A second.
Second by Ms. Cobb, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion's approved. Next is to approve the CMMS Chromebook purchase, so Clark Morris Middle School.
Yeah, this is for Chromebooks, 8F, and also 8G is the same thing. They're using school funds, actually 8G, Shannon Johnson, are going to use some of the CATS funds, but both of these are utilizing for the majority piece is school funds, so really no impact on the general fund. The reason it's coming before the board is because the purchase exceeds $30,000, requires board approval, so it's school funds.
Are there any questions?
Mr. Burnett is here. He can answer any
All right.
technical questions on that you'd like, if you have any. I think he's approaching to actually deal with the next one, so.
Something else, but I'm here just in case you need me.
Do we have
How-
any questions?
Well, I do have one question. So how long, what is the life really of a Chromebook?
It's a good question. About 5 years, give or
Okay,
take.
that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, usually our hardware lasts about that long. After that, you really start seeing keys coming off and
Right.
trackpads failing, that kind of stuff. Actually, Google has imposed an expiration date on those that goes longer than that typically. But yeah, that's the typical hardware span of that.
Does each school have it set up kind of like we do the rotation of getting rid of old technology and stuff, kind of like the school buses,
Yes, ma'am.
you know?
Yeah.
I was thinking we do that with Chromebooks.
Yeah, and we do that with all of our technology. So this past year, I started kind of meeting with every principal to talk through those. Well, and I've done that in years past too, but met with the principals to talk about the replacement cycles. And so we talk about their Chromebook purchases. Then we, at the district level, we look at their staff machines, that kind of stuff, just to make sure that everything, works as it should. They get the best user experience they can, that kind of stuff.
And I'll also add there, Ben, and you could expand on it if you want to. We also, with our CATS funding, which is the funding that comes from the state for technology, we have a district allocation, and we take portions of that and we set it aside for each school, and that they're able to access with a school-funded match. So, so that way they're not just, they're actually looking at things they need, and they have some money to to support that. So if you want to add anything to that, you can.
Yes, sir. No, you hit the nail on the head. We make sure the schools have that so they can kind of make the educational choice per school as to what they think is best. And so usually right now that does go for Chromebook purchases, but it could go for software, a host of things. It is limited based on what you can purchase, but it's all educationally based and focused on our students, so.
Any other questions for Ben? All right, then I need a motion to approve the purchase of 140 Chromebooks from CDW for Clark Morris Middle School for a total amount of $36,113 using their Title I funds.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Brock. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion's approved. Next, like Dr. Gillum said, very similar, to approve the Shannon Johnson Elementary School Chromebook purchase. Do you want to say anything else, or do we have any questions for Ben on that? All right, if not, then I need a motion to approve the purchase of 150 Chromebooks for Shannon Johnson Elementary School from CDW for a total amount of $38,692.50 using their KETS matched with their school Title I funds.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Cobb. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion's approved. Next, 8H is to approve the IP office installation. Ben?
So with this one, we have an aging phone system in the district right now. It is a CS1000 system. I know that doesn't necessarily mean a lot to most people, but it's a system that, it was one of the first ones to be a kind of an accepted voice over IP phone system. So it eliminated the old kind of standard telephone lines that allowed you to transmit your voice traffic over just an internet cable, that kind of stuff. Saves you some money in the long run, but that has officially aged out and you can no longer get parts for it. And honestly, it's half the reason why my bald spot's as big as it is. And so we have talked with Dr. Gillum for a while, and he has graciously agreed that it is time to replace that system. And so what you'll see on that quote is it is a quote to finish the last half of the district. And so far we've cut over 13 of our sites. We will finish cutting over those last 13 sites. That includes Silver Creek, Shannon Johnson, Waco, most of our middle schools, central office technology, maintenance, that kind of stuff. And so what that does is it gives us all of our hardware, all of our servers, the ability to actually get rid of a lot of our old phone lines that are going away anyways, and just are having issues over time, as that technology gets older and older. Plus, it gives us the ability to save us money. And so hopefully, it'll give us the ability to cut about $10,000 a month in phone bills over time. So hopefully within the next year and a half, once this is all finished, this will actually pay for itself. But that's the goal. And so we are asking for $121,205.64 to finish upgrading all of our voice over IP stuff.
When do you anticipate Ben being able to start this?
So if we cut the PO today, we would probably start, well, obviously testing's coming, otherwise we could start in the next month. We will start probably as soon as testing's over. There will be some kind of, legwork to get everything kind of consolidated and that kind of stuff, but yeah. Yep.
Any other questions? All right, then I need a motion to approve the IPO installation for the remaining Nortel locations for a total amount of $121,205.64. And I hope I said that right,
You did.
Nortel.
That was perfect.
Okay, good.
So moved.
All right, the motion's been made by Ms. Brock. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion's approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burnett. 8I is to approve, I don't even know how.
It can go
how-
two ways, so
Yeah.
Savas and Sabas is
I'll
the
just-
two ways I've heard it.
I'm gonna let you
Um,
lead, Mr. Ray.
According to the rep, it's Savas, so that's what I've kind of landed
Savas.
on. So just some background, last legislative cycle, the legislature approved through Senate Bill 9 that the superintendent shall select K through 3 reading curriculum based off a list that is generated by KDE. We worked with Mr. Woods when we knew that was going to occur for the cost. This actually did come in quite a bit less than what we originally anticipated. We did bring in our principals. I felt like their input was vital because they're going to be the ones on the ground working with the teachers to implement and make sure these things are able to take hold and be utilized their full potential. And based off a rubric, they've sent this one as a recommendation to you all to be adopted for next year. We really felt like this mirrored the work that we've been doing this year with small and whole group reading, and so it would be the best fit for our teachers.
So, Mr. Wright, is this something that, so it's obviously new.
Mm-hmm.
Will we do this same thing every year, or is it, once we purchase the curriculum, we can use it from year to year?
That's a great question. And that's why this sheet here, one of the things on there, everything that comes with this for the most part is something that you have once and that you won't have to do anything with. There's no reoccurring cost. However, there is that consumable purchase. So you do have those books, similar to what we're already been doing, most schools with the iReady books this year and prior years of that, so they're used to having some of those reoccurring costs and doing some of those things. That would be what they would purchase if they deemed that that's what they wanted to do, just like they do right now currently. There's also an online option where you get on there and have different things you can do. Several of our schools are use Savvis Math. They don't use the book. They use the online portion of that, and it works very well.
And I asked that same question several times as we, textbooks aren't like they used to be. You know, used to you bought a textbook, you had the textbook, you had the book. Now you have all the online programs and you have the codes and the numbers and all of the online resources that go with it. So this is kind of a combination. If you look at that list he gave you, the first thing, the second item on there, the third is an online piece. The fourth item there, the teacher editions, those are all hard copy items, and they also have an online version, I think, but those are all hard copy pieces that we can use year after year. The other, and then I think the book library, the big books and the skill kits, those are all, items we will have from now on. But in order for all of that to work, we will have to do recurring costs with the online and the consumable online piece in years to come. So it's your question is kind of a yes and no.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or both, whatever.
I guess my main question was, is this what we're going to have to do every year?
No, and so the schools know that. We've had that conversation with them. Again, they've already been purchasing. It's been usually iReady, those books, the consumables. So it would just shift to what they're purchasing is what they would really doing. This is a one-time cost from the district perspective to get everybody on board, everybody what they need to implement. They know that. We've talked about budgeting and some of those things that they need to do going forward to really make sure they're in good shape to be able to do that year over year.
So does this take the place of iReady?
No, so the iReady's a complex piece too. We typically think of the iReady diagnostic assessment, but along with that, we have iReady online modules. We have iReady, the Ready curriculum, which is the workbooks and other things that are consumable. So there's a lot of pieces. It will take place of some of those parts. Okay, some of those parts will be replaced, So we're probably thinking, just to kind of give you a rough ballpark, what I'm thinking we're looking at here is the materials that we have here will probably last us 5 or 6 years anyway. Then about 20% of this will probably have to be, 20 to 25% will be an annual piece that will be shared by the schools. So, and they're used to that.
And what's nice about what we're going to get, it's the brand new released edition. So going into next school year, it's a brand new, so there shouldn't be any updates. There shouldn't be anything else that they would discontinue with. This will be that kind of rolling out. I do think having a lot of kids are transient moving around our district. It's going to be very nice having one thing that is being utilized across our district in that way, because we did an inventory last year as this was starting to come up. It was amazing how much it differed from school to school. Some may use iReady, some may have used Fonz Pinnell. There's just different things that they were kind of using along the way as far as brands and companies were going. So in that way, this will be good from that perspective.
I like consistency. So will our teachers have to be trained on this new curriculum?
They will, and that's one of the reasons we wanted to go and bring this to you all now after they made this recommendation to you all, and so we can go ahead and set up training for the summer. We did the trainer model last year that worked very well. That's what we anticipate using again this year and bring them in, train our building coaches that'll be there, there next year, and kind of help that kind of facilitate or flow its way down.
That's good. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to pepper
No.
you there.
Absolutely.
Will it ever go above third grade, or will it just stop at third grade?
And so that's what the legislator has set it to go through K through 3. They're also introduced something this past year that I don't know if it fully went through or not. Math, it did not, but something they've been doing that. So they've kind of been tiering and looking at things. The math originally was supposed to go 4 through 8. They shifted to K through 3, did not pass. So
Okay.
they're kind of tiering and looking at some different ways, different things.
But
Yes,
we'll
they want to be very
using this-
specific on foundational reading,
Yes.
and they want to be very specific on that and the way that rolled out. So that was the focus of the legislature on that
Yeah.
piece. So we don't anticipate them doing additional things. You know, we buy curriculum every year. We have investments in curriculum to some degree. And this is bigger than typical, but we've been planning for it. We knew it was coming, and we've been
Yes.
planning for it. So.
So we just will be using this for just through the third grade. We're not, even though we're not being asked to do so.
That's correct. And the schools may opt to do that. Like I said, there's
They can
several
use
other
it
schools
for
are
other
using
good.
Savvis for some other things, social studies, science. Their rep has, been very good to work with, has a good relationship with all our schools already.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, then I need a motion to approve Savvis purchase order for K through 3 reading curriculum for $578,546.84.
So second. I'm sorry.
All right, the motion's been made by Ms. Cobb, second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion's approved. And
Thank
thank
you
you for
all.
making sure I
Thank you
said it
very
right.
much.
Next is 8J, to approve the emergency certification. This is the Educational Professional Standards Board, requires us to do every year for substitute teachers. Do you want to?
Yeah, I'll be glad, this is our annual piece. This is just a blanket approval for those folks who come to us that have at least 64 hours, but they don't have a full teaching certificate, that we're saying it's okay for them to substitute for us. And we have to make that statement and do an approval. I'm assuming you all would prefer a blanket approval over doing these individually?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we do, yes.
And it says on my notes that they have to have a 2.5 GPA.
Yeah, they have to have a 2.5 GPA and 64 college credit hours, yes,
Yes.
so.
Any questions?
This is a great way for our education majors to get some experience.
All right, then I need a motion to approve the emergency substitute certification for substitute teachers for the 2024-2025 school year.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Ms. Cobb, second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion's approved. 8K on our agenda is to create, ratify a 2.0 LBD teaching position.
Yeah, this is special ed, as we do frequently. As case numbers go up throughout the year, we have to add staff to meet those, stay within compliance of federal law on those caseload numbers. So that's where we are right now. We've been sharing one, and so this would, you can see it says .5 and .5. We've been sharing one, so this, they have been assigned .5 and .5, so we add another .5 to each one, bumps it up to a whole teacher there.
No, that's good.
Yeah, so the teacher's not having to bounce it back and forth.
Any other questions? All right, I need a motion to create, ratify a 1.0 LBD teaching position, which, as Dr. Gillum said, was .5 at Kingston Elementary School and .5 at Silver Creek Elementary School, and to create and ratify a 1.0 LBD teaching position at Glen Marshall Elementary School.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Brock. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Next on the agenda is our superintendent's report. Dr. Gillum.
All right, thank you. Well, I hope all of our students, staff, and families had a great week last week, able to enjoy that spring break. We have 30 days of school left after today, before we start our graduation ceremonies. And the next few weeks are going to be very busy, obviously, with state testing. We've heard that mentioned. AP testing, I think our high school report, yeah, they mentioned that, along with our end-of-the-year career certification testing. So lots of testing things going on, but at the same time, we've got lots of other exciting celebrations, those end-of-the-year things that make school a lot of fun. I want to say thank you to the Church on the Rock for assisting us with our relocation event that we had to have at Kingston Elementary a few weeks ago. The church and their volunteers went above and beyond to take care of our kids, and we really appreciate that, as well as our Kingston staff, our students, and our parents of all of those kids. It was just a well-oiled machine, the way they handled that, so we appreciate that. I also appreciate the board for holding the work session on March 26th to look at some of our construction projects coming up, particularly that Waco Elementary School building. We shared some ideas on that and gave a little feedback to our architect. Thank you for being there, Tony. Appreciate that as well. And the staff out there at Waco, they are really thrilled with what we're doing there. And we also appreciate their feedback on some of those initial designs. So thank you to all those folks. Yesterday, I met with police and firefighters from across our county at our quarterly Safe Schools meeting. I appreciate their willingness to meet and discuss and plan for the safety of everyone in our community. It's really a great opportunity for all of those folks, those organizations. You know, we have an event, and we've had a few events over the years where we have all of our agencies responding, being able to work together, communicate together. It takes planning and preparation, and they do a great job with that. So I thank them, and thank them for first of all, just having that willingness to do that, and also for bringing us to the table and discussing those things with us. As for me, I'm finishing my second round of principal evaluation site visits for the year, and I'm very pleased with the principals and all the excellent work that I'm seeing going on in those schools. And our second round of allocation meetings are coming up next week, so we'll be making those decisions, and looking forward to that time as well with our principals sitting and planning for next year. And that's my superintendent report.
Thank you, Dr. Dillon. Number 10 on our agenda is comments from the board.
Well, him putting 30 days in made it really sound like it's over. I mean, 30 days and school's out.
It's gone fast
Yes, it
this school
has.
year.
We just got started. I can imagine what you'll think.
Any other comments? All right. Then we're going to move to our agenda number 11, enter into executive session to discuss pending litigation for which disclosure would compromise our posture per KRS 61.8101C, and the discussion which might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee, member, or student per KRS 61.8101F. So I need a motion to enter into executive session.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Brock. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Cobb. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are now into executive session. Number 12 on our agenda item is to come out of executive session. So I need a motion to come out of executive session, please.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Ms. Coyle. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are out of executive session. Next on the agenda is number 13, actions regarding that might have happened in our executive session. And we received a grievance, and so I need a motion to acknowledge the receipt of a grievance dated March the 12th of 2024 and deny any subsequent consideration of this matter by the board.
So moved.
The motion's been made by Ms. Cobb. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Now I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Ms. Brock, second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned.